Welcome to the Psychic Pastry Chef, where two unlikely worlds merge. You may know me from my other YouTube channel, Pam Georgel, where I post monthly psychic tarot readings and psychic crystal readings, and also the special psychic readings I record for my Vimeo On Demand channel. Here in these videos, I'm combining my 22 years of experience as a pastry chef with 16 years of working as a psychic to bring you desserts, cakes, and pastries that you can make and impress your family and friends. And I'm going to be giving you psychic predictions for your zodiac sign while doing so. I psychically tuned into each of the signs of the zodiac to find what desserts they like. And today we're focusing on Scorpio. Scorpio, I hear you like sensuous desserts like creamy chocolate mousse, cream puffs, eclairs, anything with strong flavors like Grand Marnier, Amaretto, anise, chocolate, little chocolates flavored with, filled with liqueur. Also, anything that has salty and sweet combined. Desserts that have ricotta cheese in it, like cannolis. Also, Italian cheesecake. But today, I drew from my repertoire of desserts, and I've decided for you, we're going to make Ricotta Almond Torte. Are you ready to get started? Let's go. So first, in this recipe, you want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees, and you'll need a 9-inch springform pan. And we're going to start with ground toasted almonds, 1 3/4 cups. You're also going to need 1/4 cup of melted unsalted butter and 1/4 cup of granulated sugar. So this is really simple. You're just adding the sugar into these toasted almonds and mixing it up. And now you're going to add in the melted butter. So you're going to press this into the pan like you would graham cracker crumbs in a cheesecake that you might make at home. This is very similar to that. You can use your hands if you want. If you feel like it's too dry, you can add more melted butter. And I sprayed the springform pan with nonstick cooking spray, but if you prefer to use melted butter, you can use melted butter as well. So that's all you need to do for that. Now I'm going to press it into the bottom and the sides of the pan. So while I'm doing that, I'm going to focus on starting with Scorpio. Some of you Scorpios may find in 2018 that through some people that you work with, there could be some jealousy or envy that comes up with people in your place of work. This could also be within a family situation. That's possible too. And also trying to iron out differences from the past comes up. I feel that this could occur for you anytime in 2018 from October through January. Scorpios may also try their hand at something new in 2018, such as like a new craft, a new skill, something you want to learn how to do. Could be a new job even. Could be a new job or a new job technique. Sagittarians, you may find yourself linking up with a business partner that turns like into a sexual or romantic relationship. So for Sagittarians, I do pick up that if you get involved with you got to be careful if you get involved in a workplace romance, because it could end up creating disaster for you later on, or if you wanted to get out of the relationship, it could be kind of ticklish or difficult for you to get out of it. So keep that in mind if that's something that happens for you in 2018. You also, Sagittarians, may be also doing a lot of work from home in 2018. Capricorns may be putting the brakes on some kind of project or plan that they were doing. If you started any renovations, like renovating your kitchen or renovating your house, or putting on an addition or anything, could be even like some kind of work that you're not doing at home, you may put the brakes on some project or even a hobby. If you had a hobby that was getting to be too costly or too expensive, you may also be putting the brakes on that. That comes up for Capricorns. I do feel Capricorns are going to be smiling a lot in 2018, and I feel you will be sharing some good news. Good news with people comes up. Sharing good news. I feel Aquarians are going to be doing some strategic planning of some things in 2018 and doing some things to stabilize your income. So you could be taking on a second job or starting your own business from home. A sideline or a hobby could become a business for you. And but like stabilizing, fortifying your income and strategizing comes up for the Aquarians. Aquarius, if you feel like you, at some point in 2018, that you've bitten off more than you can chew in anything, if it's a job, a relationship, a new project, any endeavors, you may want to take a step back from it and analyze it, or cut some things out of it. Let some ideas or thoughts you had about something go. If you become like the feeling like, man, I've bitten off more than I can chew. If that's a feeling you Aquarians have, then, think on that in 2018, that you may have to take a step back. Some of you Aquarians could actually be rebuilding your financial portfolio or financial picture, could be going through a series of structures and rebuildings in 2018. For Pisces, you may be starting some family business. Family partnerships could arise. You could work for a family business, or you could get into a partnership or a business with someone in your life that you're very close to, that feels like family. That's also possible. Some Pisces also will be working on something from the ground up. You could be building an addition, building a business, you could be going into any kind of training or apprenticeship programs, also could come up for Pisces in 2018. I feel Aries are going to do some traffic stopping. I get jaw dropping. You may do something really out of the blue, like suddenly elope, suddenly have a baby, get plastic surgery, anything that would be like surprising to people around you, because I get like jaw-dropping kind of situations for Aries. Okay, could even be taking a relationship up to the next level. So now the crust is in up the sides and on the bottom of this torte. And now it goes into the oven, 350-degree oven for 10 minutes. Actually, 375-degree oven for 10 minutes. Okay, so now we're going to make the filling for the ricotta almond torte, and you can use a food processor. That's the best way to do this. Now, here I have 2 tablespoons of Amaretto and 2 tablespoons of creme de coco, and I'm going to put 1 envelope of gelatin in that, and I'm going to whisk this together, and you want to microwave it so that the gelatin completely dissolves. So I'm going to start it at a minute may take longer than that, but I'll start it there. So this is 3 cups of ricotta cheese measured out here, and I'm going to, oh, there's a flake of ground coconut in there. So I'm going to put this in the processor. Now I have a small processor because it's just me and my 2 sons, so I don't have a big one. If you have a big one, it'll be easier for you because you can probably do it all in one shot. But I'm going to have to do it in stages, so I'm going to, I don't know, maybe, no, I'm afraid if I put it all in at once, it's going to be too full. So you want to run the processor. The whole method or reason of this is to make it smooth. I feel that Tarses are going to be camping out and spending time outdoors at some point in 2018. Now, here I'm going to add, this is 1/4 cup plus 2 teaspoons of sugar. So I'm going to add half of that, since I have to do this in 2 stages, but if you have a bigger processor, you can do it all at once. I really feel that Tarses are going to be making money hand over fist with something you're going to be doing in 2018. So your finances look like they're going great to me. All right, so this is very well dissolved. So I'm going to add it, even though this is only half the batch, I'm going to add it here, because it's all going to get mixed together. So while it's running, I'm going to pour this in. Cancers, you really do need a break from reality, and I think it would be wise for you to pick out a really great vacation spot, like go somewhere tropical or somewhere that's relaxing for you in 2018. All right, so now I'm going to combine it in here, in this bowl, because I'm going to have to mix the 2 together. So this is really creamy, very, very smooth. Not that ricotta cheese isn't smooth and creamy already, it is, but it does have a little bit of a grainy texture. You can see this is like, almost looks like as smooth as whipped cream. I feel cancers in the year of 2018 are going to be troubleshooting problems in their family, or it could be at work. I get doing a lot of troubleshooting. This maybe is why you're going to need some vacation. So I feel like you cancers are going to feel exhausted. And someone might be up to their old tricks again, somebody you dealt with in the past or have had issues with, maybe pulling some stuff that they, pulled with you before in the past. I don't feel you're going to tolerate it. I feel that you're going to tell them, you're going to give them what for. So anybody that you've had problems with, could be relatives or work or friends. I don't know what category they're coming from, but you will be, shutting it down in short order. For the Leos that are married, or any Leo that's in a serious relationship, you may have somebody that's like that to you, that's, I don't want to say giving you problems. I feel like they may be trying to affect what you're doing or create some stumbling blocks for you in 2018. I see some Leos generating some good income from a family business or from some kind of business. So Leos look like they're generating some good income. Doesn't have to be a family business, but it comes up. Some of you may have one, and this could be in relation to that. So now I'm going to take this out. And the next step of the recipe is we're going to add 1 cup of whipped cream. Now, it can also be creme fraiche, either way. I use whipped cream. So, but you can use creme fraiche if you prefer. And we're also going to be adding chocolate to this recipe. And I'm going to use chocolate chips, mini semi-sweet chocolate chips. But you could also use, you could get a bar of chocolate, and you know, grate it, shave it in instead if you want it to look more like flecked and speckled and not, you know, spotty. Also, I feel with Leos, you may have a match made in heaven for you in some way in 2018. This could be like match made in heaven, like perfect job, perfect business partner, but it could be that you have a match made in heaven with your partner also, or someone you're going to meet if you're not already coupled. So now I have the 1 cup of stiffly whipped cream. I'm going to add in here. Well, actually, first I'm going to whisk this together. As I said, if you have a Cuisinart that's bigger than the, you know, a food processor that's bigger than the one I have, which is a very small one, you can do this all in one mixing bowl in one shot. You're not going to have to, you know, do it in 2 steps. But I'm going to add in the whipped cream. Virgos are going to have a great idea. I see you selling some, you know, stupendous great idea or coming up with a great idea. That will actually revise something that you're doing, revise some plan or revise, could be at work. You may come up with a way to streamline everything at your job, like a new computer program or a new way people should be doing things. Could even be in a personal area. I don't know. It doesn't always have to be job related, what I'm saying, because this is a general reading, just like the readings I do over on my other channel, Pam Georgel, the Lucky Mermaid. They're general readings too. So it's same applies here. Now I measured out half a cup of mini chocolate chips, but I'm not sure that I want that much in there. So I'm just going to add half of them first and mix it around and see if I agree with that estimation. Needs more, and I also want to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla also. I could have added that in the food processor, but when thinking of psychic messages, I forget. Doesn't matter, it's getting in there. I feel that Virgos, if you're a working Virgo, some things that you're doing could lead up to a big promotion for you. I am going to add the whole half cup. That's what I thought. And then I was like, I don't know, maybe that's going to be too much. But you know what? When can you have, actually, some of you may say, that's not enough chocolate chips. Actually, it could be more. But I'm going to leave it at half a cup, but feel free to add more. So now the next phase of this is pour it into the crust. As you can see, it's nicely browned. And you're going to freeze this for a couple hours. You don't have to freeze it overnight, but you know what? This would be a great dessert to make ahead if you're having a family gathering or you want to take it to a party and make it the day before and let it sit in the freezer overnight, and then you take it out the next day, and then you can finish it off and decorate it in whatever way that you want. Some Libras are coming to like some kind of closure or ending of a relationship or a situation. Could be a lawsuit, could be a marriage, could be a love relationship, but I get coming to some endings and getting some closure. I feel like Libras are going to be, a lot of Libras are going to be doing things to change their appearance or highlight their appearance. Could be highlighting your hair, getting plastic surgery. Some of that comes up for Libras. Okay, I got a little bit of the crust in there. Unfortunately, I didn't want to do that. I was trying to avoid it. But so you can see what it looks like before it goes into the freezer. And like I said, this could take a couple of hours. It already it has gelatin in it. You could refrigerate it if you don't want to freeze it. I'm going to put it in the freezer. So we'll be back in a little bit and we'll finish up this ricotta almond torte, and hopefully you're going to enjoy this. I love it. It reminds me of the cannolis. I grew up in South Jersey, and you know, Philadelphia was right over the bridge, and we would have we could get amazing cannolis from South Philly. So we'll be back in a little bit to finish it. Okay, so now we're going to decorate this ricotta almond torte, and it only sat in the freezer for, I don't know, 20 minutes, half an hour, maybe an hour tops. So that's all it really takes. So as I always say, I like to use a tart pan bottom to remove the dessert. And I put a damp towel on if you have a cake decorating table that you don't want it to move around. That'll keep it stable for you. I'm going to use this platter, and I'm going to take it off. Ooh, ooh, it's cracking a little bit. It's cracking, it's cracking. Might want to let it sit in the refrigerator, in the freezer more than, longer than what I did, which, as I said, I think was half an hour maybe. Okay. Little crust came off there. Could have been better frozen. Okay, so now I'm going to mark off how many slices I would like. So I'm going to do 12 here. You could do 16. I'm going to do 12. I see some Libras really thinking hard about how they want to reinvent their life in some way. You might be coming to like an epiphany point, Libras, or some kind of like crisis point. You may be doing some examination over fears and things that are generational from your family, like where you see maybe there were issues or problems within a family that didn't really get solved or resolved. So I've whipped cream here. And I don't know, it was about maybe a cup to cup and a half of heavy cream, and I put in about 1/8 of a cup, 1/8 to 1/4 of a cup of powdered sugar in it when I whipped it. And I whipped it to stiff peaks. So let's get on with this decoration. And I'm going to use a large star tip here. I do really feel that Libras are going to have some kind of refreshing change. Okay, so I'm just going to use a big star border. I'm not really going to do anything overboard on this. You can make things as fancy as you want. You don't have to do this part if you don't want to. You could put a rosette on each piece if you don't want to do a border. Okay, so now the next step I'm going to do is I want to draw some like chocolate designs on this cake. What you can do is if you melt some chocolate chips or some chocolate, you could actually coat the backs of like camellia leaves and put them in the refrigerator, and then peel the leaves off, and you'll have nice leaves. That looks really nice on this. But I hunted around, and or you have to find like a waxy leaf plant. I really couldn't find any here at the Jersey Shore right now, not in my neighborhood anyway, so I have to skip that. So I made this little cone out of paper. Of course, I just filled it up too much, but okay, so it's making this like little drizzle. So I'm gonna pipe a little design on here. And if you want, and you want to try this method, you just cut out a triangle of parchment paper, and that's how you get this together. I'm going to put some so there you have chocolate torte, ricotta almond torte. Wow, I was going to say a completely different cake. So let's give this a try and see what we think of this. All right, is everybody ready to give this a whirl out there? Let's see. So keep in mind, I did not let this freeze overnight, so some of the crust is coming away because it really should have sat longer. But for the essence of time and video, I didn't let it sit. So you can see. All right, so let me give this a whirl. Good old ricotta almond torte. Wow. That's really good. It's really, really creamy, and you can taste the creme de coco in it, more so than the amaretto. And I did put equal amounts, 2 tablespoons of each in there, but the creme de coco flavor is definitely there, and it does not taste alcohol-y. If I ever use any recipes and you're like, I don't want to use alcohol, I can't have alcohol, or I don't want it in my recipes, you can always take a cup of sugar, half a cup of sugar, and a cup of water, 2 to 1, and boil it and make a simple syrup out of it, and then use that liquid in any recipe I give you that has where you have to dissolve gelatin in some type of liqueur. If you don't want to do that, just use the simple syrup. This is really, really good. I think you guys are going to love this recipe. Some advice I would give you: if you feel like it's not sticking together well enough when you do the crust, I would add about another half a cup to 3/4 of a cup of almonds beyond what was given in the recipe, because when I try it, I really feel it needed more almonds, and I wouldn't increase the sugar. I would use a little more butter, like 2 tablespoons more of butter, and adding some flour in with it, slightly. You could do it without, but I don't know that it will stick together as well for you when you have to press it up the sides of the pan. So I would add like 2 tablespoons of flour to that. You're not going to taste the flour in it. I just think it needs to be bound a little tighter. So I hope you like this recipe. I hope these messages today were of help to you. As always, please be sure to watch me on my channel, The Lucky Mermaid, Pamela Georgel, The Lucky Mermaid channel on YouTube, to get psychic messages for your sign in the beginning of the month and in the middle of the month, and the psychic crystal readings for the new moons, full moons, and eclipses. And check out all my videos that I have available on Vimeo. So please be sure to follow your passions in life, and then you'll know you're on your true path. Until next time. Thanks for watching The Psychic Pastry Chef. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're interested in getting any of the special videos I've recorded for my Psychic Pastry Chef Vimeo On Demand channel with more recipes and psychic predictions for 2018 for each sign of the zodiac, you can access these videos for purchase by clicking on the link below this video, or you can go to my website, www.thepsychicpastrychef.com, and click on the Videos tab on my menu. If you're interested in scheduling a private psychic reading with me, or purchasing any of the special videos that I record monthly for each sign of the zodiac for my Lucky Mermaid Vimeo On Demand channel, you can access those videos for purchase by clicking on the Videos tab on my menu at www.theluckymermaid.com, And go to my order page online scheduling calendar for booking new appointments, which reopens every 4 to 5 months. See you next month.